good evening, my creamy cupcakes. This is the Candid show brought here by host Sriram. I'm Krishna with me as my co-host today. So today we are going to be talking about nothing in specific, I guess, right? So we did not have anything in mind coming to this, but the one thing which we kind of had in our mind to kind of talk about, or at least voice out our opinions, is kind of like the idea about what you actually want to do in life. So this is such a very big question. There's such an open-ended question also. There isn't one specific answer to this. You could give it multiple answers, but like the one kind of aspect of this question I'm trying to focus on is probably the professional side of things, or kind of like your career side of things, right? I think that is the kind of the question which a lot of us people kind of struggle upon, and that's due to various reasons, I suppose, because a lot of tracks in life are open to you to go and pursue. But the kind of the problem, fundamental issue at heart, I think so, is that you don't know what you want to go. You don't know where you want to go, right? Even though you might have so many options in front of you, that kind of creates a problem within itself. Since you don't have so many of these career tracks to approach, so many of these things to do, this kind of makes you kind of confused in life. And another big kind of issue with this decision, for anybody who's making this decision will undergo, is that there are something called skills, right? So for any track or any field you go, there are certain skills which you need. So for example, if you go on a company, if you go kind of going to the HR kind of position, if you're reading MBA, you need to be very good at communicating with people, you need to be very good at organizing, you need to be good at managing people. Basically, people skills should be really good for you in case if you're going to the MBA side of things. So I guess this is kind of like what I'm trying to get across, is that how as a person actually come across to make this decision. It's not like one day you wake up and you like suddenly want to become an engineer, suddenly you want to go to pursue physics. It's not, and people do say that you can make changes in your career, like stuff like that. But I don't think life works like that, right? Like a lot of people also keep telling me like, you will get it eventually, or you keep doing this, eventually you'll grow passion out of it. I don't know how that is possible, because I've been doing the same thing kind of like, or at least I've been seeing what are the things available to me. But probably, I guess, if you try things only, you'll understand, but that is understandable. But if you look at life as a whole, or at least if somebody asks you the question, right, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I can't answer that question. It is just simply not possible for me, I guess, to go that far in time to actually tell where I would be, because I do not know where I am right now. So I think that is kind of like this. I don't know if this is an existential crisis or something, or I guess all of us undergo, but I don't think a lot of people speak about it. It's not highly spoken upon, because that kind of makes you look as if you are not really prepared for life, or like you might be a loser as well, because you can't just go out in the world and say I don't know what to do. People will kind of look at you like a loser. So not figuring out your life is a very big fear. I think everybody has, I think, that kind of fear in life as to what the society would say to when you don't. And the society is probably the biggest kind of reason, or the fear which kind of forces us to think about this question. So the big question, or kind of like the big kind of statement which I want to make, is that like, is there actually any way by which you can gain clarity in life, right? Or in the sense that like at least you can have the kind of basic understanding as to what you want to do. Because right now we are kind of basically clueless, I suppose. We are doing a lot of things right now. Yeah. Even I am doing a lot of these skills which are needed for kind of like a broader spectrum of life. But I don't know what I want to do especially. I don't know that one kind of like wow factor. Because a lot of people our age kind of have that one single wow factor with them. They are either really good at something, or they have kind of have their own startup companies. They are basically flourishing in their own kind of a track which they've been going. That's all well and good. And I'm really envious of those kind of people. Because figuring out your life is something really, really important, something very huge, right? So how do you come about kind of like, or at least what is your thought process on at least how to kind of navigate through this problem of not being able to figure out what life is and what you want to do in life?
So speaking about this, as you told, each and everyone would have faced this question, like what I am going to do in next 4 or 5 years. So where I am going to be, which company will I work, how much salary will I get, so like which country I will be in. So like these are a very common doubt for people of age, so like our age, so like about 18 to 20. So as you told, most of the people will decide whatever the field they have to go. So like I have to be a doctor, I have to be an engineer, specific engineer. Yeah. So like I have to be they will have their own kind of a perspective about which field to choose in the future. But most of the people, including we both, so right, we have this not thought, I will term it as fear about what we are going to do in the future. So like we don't know which one path that we will choose to be. See, obviously we are engineers, but which field we are going to focus on, and which field we are going to which field we are truly interested on. So like that is very a crucial and very important part in our life. So like mainly in our college life, I think so, because if you choose the wrong one, so like if whatever your friend chooses, you choose the same thing, right? So like he may be interested in it, so like he took it. So like if you also take it, right, so like if you don't have any clarity about what you take, right, so like one wrong step will completely destroy your future, I think so. So like taking a right step at the right time is something very very important. So for us, today's topic, so like we decided to speak this because about we had a phone call conversation a week ago. So like about I had this kind of one itching thought in my mind about we haven't done anything productive in this last 2 years. So like all this we were studying very we were very interested in knowing many things while we actually went to the college, and we started gaining more knowledge, but unfortunately due to the pandemic and this virus outbreak, right, so like after the first sem the COVID lockdown came, and we were at the peak of the enjoyment. So like we were playing many video games, so like example PUBG. So like we completely wasted our time. I think 1.5 years or 2 years,
probably 6 months of our time would have been a complete waste, I guess.
And we didn't do anything productive. So like at the time we could have learned a software, a designing software.
We could have done so much, but
we could have done internships and so many things. So like the time was more then. So like 1.5 years, 2 years, I feel like we have done a very big mistake. But at least now I think we have got this fear to discuss about what we are going to do in the future. So like now we both have started started learning softwares from the online. So like we have now started to realize about we should not be dependent on the college. So like we shouldn't be dependent on the college. So we kind of purchased our what we need, what the softwares we need in different online course. So like we bought it, and we are now sitting and studying and grouping whatever things we need to be whatever the things we need to reach to the goal where we want. So like this, at least now I think we have started realizing the importance of time, and we have started learning something productive.
I guess as Krishna pointed out, the regret is too hard to bear. I think at the end of the day, that's kind of like the conclusion I can take out of this, is that those 6 months of our lives probably we'll never ever get the time which we've like spent, and that regret is definitely hard to kind of understand and process, because right now, like we are doing so much right now. We are multitasking, we are doing our college stuff, we are doing our own thing, like
but no, we kind of understand the true pressure about handling the college and other software.
Like responsibility, I suppose we actually started to.
The stress is it has developed so much. So like we kind of regret on one side about wasting so much time, but at least now we have started planning. We have started making a plan about what we are going to do in the near future. So like we will study this. We will allocate the schedule and study all these kind of college stuff and other stuff we want to know, and we will do these internships, and we have at least now come to a point about thinking about our future, I think.
I think the bottom line out of the thing which you kind of talked about is we've started to accept responsibility. Like I think the downright kind of like truth is that we've started to realize what we need to do at this age, because there are a lot of people who are grinding much more harder than we are. We probably barely work we probably work 5 to 6 hours a day. That's pretty much it, right? Excluding the online classes, that's all we do. There are people out there who are like going on jobs, still they are studying for their exams, still grinding, still doing their home things. There are a lot of people out there who are still grinding a lot, and we are nothing in front of them. I guess and obviously there is this point that we've just started right now, but the journey definitely seems really long, I guess, because we've barely started now, and you're 19 and I'm 20, so pretty much late realization only, I guess. But the only positive side note, or kind of like the only good thing which I kind of take out of this, is that I think this kind of changed us. This is probably a very big statement to make, but
a very big lesson for us about at least now we have to start doing the perfect thing without wasting time more on games or movies and series. So like we kind of got this realization about using our time productively. So like we have started personally on our side, we are mechanical engineers, as you know, and we have started kind of studying many design softwares. So like for example, we are studying AutoCAD and
basically skills relevant to our field, right? I guess
relevant to our
day.
field, yeah. And I hope that we are in the right path to the to reach our goal. And I think everyone should kind of realize this importance. And as you know, but most of the people kind of struggle about, they don't have a proper a friendship or like a guidance towards what they should choose. And they have no idea, and they have this this dilemma about whether we would be in a successful company or not, what we are going to do. They don't have a clarity about their future. And I think the lack of guidance is something that is the major factor that affects their career, I think so. And most of them think that college is enough, college studies is enough. So like as we discussed previously in the episode college, I think so
but in that we are kind of talking about the completely, like as we are completely polar opposites right now. We were kind of like arguing on the fact that why colleges are not needed. But I guess the narrow-mindedness of some people, they just assume that you just get a degree in college, that's pretty much it.
After I get a degree, I will get placed in a very big company. As the teachers suggest that on the third year and the fourth year, many companies will come to your interview. So like you should know English and you should maintain a good CGPA. But that is right, but it is not up to your level. So like you don't have a proper resume other than,
you don't even have any skill,
any external skill like, other than college studies, so which millions of engineers study, right?
I guess that is the only reason why people say engineers don't get jobs, right? Like why do you think there are a lot of engineers out there who are jobless? Because they do not understand how the industry works. Because like we're both in third year right now. If you would ask the same question in first year, you would have probably just two dumb people who are going to the college who have just had this notion in the mind that college is the answer to everything.
So that's how we were.
That's how we were. Like completely two dumb people going into an institution, just doing whatever they were telling us to do, just writing those exams, not even realizing what we want to do, right? So I guess the bottom line, or like what I want to kind of tell about it is that there's a lot more things to explore in life than just a prefixed path, right? Because like from children we are kind of have this kind of like the traditional route, going to school, then college, then life, etc., like a traditional kind of path which everyone has. So I guess sometimes exploring going out of the path, or like maybe after college taking a break of 1 or 2 years, like maybe you kind of have to deviate a little bit from that kind of like the traditional part which people have put up to kind of open your minds towards new things, I guess. Because since like we've been conditioned to think like there is this school, then this college, then this job, etc., responsibilities, family, etc., like all of these things, like since you're huddled with so many responsibilities in your mind, you barely have time to think what you like. So that kind of like your liking or your passion gets undermined by all of these.
Most of the people, right? So like they don't have a proper idea. If you go and ask many of our college friends or like any other person who is studying a college like us, right? So like they won't have a proper idea of what they actually like. So like if you go and ask what you like, so like he will tell that I have no idea, right? So like that is the mindset of most of the people.
True, but I think at the end of the day, a person or any student or anybody for that instance, if they want to get better in life or be better than what they are right now, I think you should have some amount of curiosity, like some amount of interest to something. You don't need to be interested in what you're doing. You could even study engineering and be interested in photography for all that matters. But I guess the point here is that you should have that kind of like the interest to explore different things. Because we both did not even know what engineering was, at least in the maybe like last 2 years, or maybe when we came to second year, we would have kind of had a very basic idea of what it actually is, what engineering actually means. So I cannot blame these people who don't want to, like I am only going to blame the college as a whole, like the society as a whole, because forcing them to think like this is the only path you can go.
You have to get a college degree, you have to go to a job, you have to get placed in a company.
True.
So like that is the major idea. And I think why most of the people don't sit and talk about this or have a plan about what they are going to do is because I think they are stuck in between the the family kind of this needs and the college and the societal kind of what the expectation they have. The society have expectation about you complete a college, you go to work, I have you placed in a company. So like that is the question they ask you, which company are you working, which company are you trying to go in. So like this is the mindset of the society. After you study, you know what?
Like your self-worth is basically determined by what job you are in. I think that's just a one-line, very brutal way of telling
They'll
the
judge
Indian
you
society.
blindly with what job you're
That's
doing,
it.
or like whether you are going to job or whether you're trying to go to any specific job. So like at school life, right? So like they told that after completing school you can be free, and at college it is the time where you can enjoy much. So like I don't think you must enjoy much. I accept the fact that we are more free, and we don't have that much of stress when compared to the school life. So but this is the right time where these 4 or 3 years, it depends upon what course you study, these years are the main time where you choose what you're going to do in the future. So like thinking about it's not about like a very difficult job, or like you don't have to rely on any other people. So like you have to sit and think about what you like actually. So like I think this is the main reason why most of the people don't sit and think about a particular whatever they like or something. They are stuck in between these.
Because lack of curiosity. It's as simple as that. They just don't want to go outside and look at what is there. You don't even need to go somewhere and search for things. You have the internet right at your fingertips.
Many people also kind of want to get placed in a job because of their family's financial,
which is definitely understandable. Obviously there is going to be a side of this which you're not discussing about familial pressure, and I'm not going to comment on that, because again, if you have family responsibility, if your family is kind of depending on you to complete your college and get a job and be the provide the livelihood for the family, then it's all well and good, because you are under a kind of like a good amount of pressure. A lot of people are kind of like trusting on you, so you don't have that kind of liberty, at least in my opinion, to explore things, I guess. But for privileged people, I guess that's kind of the word I want to use. Like privileged people like us definitely have a little bit of wiggle room, I guess, to explore what we wanted to look at different things.
All these distractions about now we are in the pandemic situation, and all these games, movies and etc. So like all these social media, they are stuck in that part of the world where they kind of think that after I get a degree I will get placed, or like I will go to this college and this country. So like that is their mindset. They don't realize the seriousness of the situation, I think so.
And this is so ironic and this is so funny that we are talking about this right now, whereas year or two back we were just like them, probably even worse than them. We used to play hours long. We did not have any idea with
midnight games and
so
everything.
So that's kind of like the point which I'm trying to make here is that a decision like this, or kind of like trying to do, like think about what you want to do in life, gives you a lot of clarity. I'm not going to say that I have a lot of clarity now. I still riddled with confusions and a lot of these.
Yeah, we're not experts to kind of tell you to sit now and do whatever the exploration. So like we are not experts, but we kind of suggest you to at least sit now and important to realize the importance of time, and at least use it productively right now itself. So like that is the main notion of our podcast, this episode, I think. So to at least think about what you're going to do in the future. So like we are trying to save you, or like we are trying to give a minor thought to you about what you're going to do in the future and what you are doing now. Have you done anything productive these many years? So like that is the point kind of we stress to make on this podcast. I guess
that basically what Krishna told was the entire aim of this, just to probably educate people, or maybe probably just maybe voice out what we want. I guess at the end of the day we just wanted to tell what we had in our minds regarding this, because we were so confused a week or two back. We were kind of like scared. We had a kind of like mini existential crisis, I suppose. So I guess kind of like the bottom line, or kind of like the conclusion out of all of this is that I guess everybody has a time where you come upon this realization time, I guess, and like things hit you really hard in the face.
But that shouldn't be at the time where you complete your college and you kind of don't have any kind of skill. So like that point, if you kind of sit and realize what I have done, that is completely useless, I think.
Well, I guess probably putting it that way definitely seems very harsh, but we've seen people who have turned around their lives even at the age of 40, 30. I guess age is definitely will never be kind of a hindrance to you making decisions.
Yeah, but it's better to sit now and plan accordingly.
But I guess everybody has to get their own get slapped in the face to understand it, right? Just like we did. That kind of hits you hard, like at some point in your life.
Fortunately, we had this conversation, and I was the one who started this conversation about what we are going to do, we have done for the past 2 years, and we came across a person, a friend of ours in the college. So like he has done so many internships and he has acquired more skills than us. So like we thought that this is a perfect slipper shot for us to at least kind of realize what we have done. See him, man. So like he has more knowledge than us, and we are capable, but we wasted a lot of time. So like the realization came at least I think so it came now.
Fairly
We are
early
fortunate.
than a lot of people, I guess. At least it came, I guess. That's the most basic thing which I can hope for. So I guess that's pretty much kind of like the end of this episode. We've covered everything. We've kind of like talked about everything we want to say. Maybe extra things also which we kind of had in our mind. So I guess that will be the end of this episode. So regarding the YouTube side of things, all of the links regarding the various channels will be given in the YouTube description below. And please listen to us on Spotify and follow us on Spotify. Regarding the Sounder as well, do the same for Sounder.
And we also added the Clubhouse our group link in the description. So like speaking about Clubhouse, right? So like we have done a specific episode about it. So like you can go and check it out. So like we will give
telling
it
the experiences.
Yeah, we will give it in the iCards. So like yeah, that will be the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.